good, everyone? Welcome to Walk Off Wagers on Pub Sports Radio. We're going to break down this entire card here right for you guys. My guy Spoons, how you doing, my friend?
Pretty good. Doing all right. Sweating out the end of this Dodgers Mets game. I have the under 8. It's 4-3 in the bottom of the ninth. It'd be really nice to get that home. Yeah.
And Baltimore walked it off. Yes. Oh my gosh. Wow. That's okay. Now this show is going to be a lot more fun, Spoons, because
that's a swing too.
Oh man. Okay.
From going down a unit to up one.
Yeah, you got to love those moments, Spoons, especially when I think after today, I will be down double-digit units on the season. Not my best season, guys, but plenty of time to turn it around. But like I told Spoons before the show, we were texting. I was like, my man, like if we were doing the show 7 days a week, I promise you guys I would be in the black because I would be capping these games at 7 p.m. every single night the night before. I obviously have other things that I'm going on right now in life. You know, I'm a new father, so it's hard to do that every single night. And the fact that me and Spoons have this show every single Saturday to come on here and do this, I have the time to do it. So I'm excited to do it. Sunday's been my most profitable day this baseball season. So I hope to just continue to keep it that way, guys. But shout out to everyone in the chat. I want to give a quick shout out to our guy, Josh Witt, in the building. Prayers for my friend right there. Came in early, let us know that his wife is getting comfortable, but just prayers for you and your family, my friend. I said a prayer for you before the show. I hope all is well your way and everything goes well with your wife. And I'm just sending prayers and positive vibes your way, my friend. Appreciate you always joining us. And I'm glad that you have a safe spot here with us here, breaking down the games and betting these games. So appreciate you for joining us. I see my guy right there, Nicholas Handy, in the building, bottom of the ninth bets. That's a new name right there. Drew, as always, said, what's up, everyone? Swiggy on the ones and twos. Gerald Jones right there. Skylar Veese, Logan Veese, Barry Agan. We've got everyone in the building here, Spoons. We only have one thing left to do here, my man, and that is talk about this loaded MLB card. We only have so many Saturdays left to do this, my friend. So let's get right into it. And our first game is going to be the Cleveland Guardians taking on the Tampa Bay Rays here. Tampa Bay Rays obviously going for the sweep here in this series at home. I mean, Spoons, I think it's kind of safe to say that, like, if anyone else has an AL team in the World Series as of right now other than the Tampa Bay Rays, a lot of question marks there. I think the Rays are the most complete team in the American League at this point in the season. I like everything they're doing over there. I hope that they can get to that point. Obviously, the playoffs are going to be tough, but with that being said here, Cleveland Guardians, a lot of injuries. Ramirez isn't in that lineup. Still floating above 500, I believe, at this point in the season. Still playing some pretty decent baseball, but I feel like their best baseball is behind them and only worse baseball is going to come. Jose Ramirez is in the lineup. Wait.
Yeah, so he came back. He sat out one game, but I don't think it was due to injury. I think they were just casually bringing him back. He played again today, so I'm penciling him in the lineup for tomorrow.
Okay.
He's pretty much healthy again.
That's huge for that lineup. But with that being said here, Spoons, this is the play that I am going to move on here to start off the show for you guys. It seems like I always have a play in the first game of the Sunday slate, and it's always the Rays. I feel like the Rays are always the first team we talk about on a Sunday. I'm on the under here, Spoons. I'm on the under 7 minus 105. Best number available I can get currently right now. Love this spot here for the under. You got Parker Messick on the mound for the Guardians. Obviously been pitching lights out baseball this year. You got Drew Rasmussen, obviously one of the better pitchers in this rotation for the last couple of years. Like everything both these pitchers are doing. Let's go over the market before I hand this off to Spoons. And this is what I want to see right here. 89% of tickets and 93% of cash on the over. So I love to see that, in the line is sitting here at a 7. Obviously, it's a low total for a reason with both these pitchers. A little surprised the sharps are coming in and kind of hammering this over early on, maybe because it is a low total. They see value. I don't see value in the over here at all. I don't trust really either of these lineups. I mean, I trust the Rays lineup to get 3 or 4 runs, but I don't know if I trust the Guardians to get 2 or 3 runs here in this spot. I think Rasmussen pitches well. 85% of the tickets and 92% of the cash is on Drew Rasmussen and the Tampa Bay Rays here, and the line's not moving. It's very early, obviously. This is going to be a completely new ticket split tomorrow when we wake up and look at these games. That's what we have right now. I'm on the under here, Spoons. What do you have in this game? Tampa Bay Rays, Cleveland Guardians.
I'd really like to go back to the Rays. I was on them today. Parker Messick has been elite for a majority of the season, going out there, giving you pretty much a quality start or just half an inning short of it more times than not. So it's going to be a low-scoring affair, in my opinion. Rasmussen's been just as good. This Cleveland Guardians offense does get a little bit of a boost with Ramirez in there, but there's still nothing that scares me. This Rays team has been getting to lefties. We've seen it just earlier in the season, or earlier in the series, just tore up, who was it? Not Messick, but 2 starts ago. I think the Rays can get on the board again. Minus 130 is the best number I see. I wish I could get like minus 120, but I have it circled. I'd like to get to the Rays. I don't have any issue with that under, but the number is already really low. Like the last 20 games, we've only seen the score go under 7 runs 5 times. And most of the time it's going well over that. There's a lot of games that finish right there, 7, 8, 9 runs, but I just think 7's too low. I know these are good pitchers, but it's not hard to get over that. I'm not running to that. If it came up to 7.5, I think I'd be interested. I'd want the win on the 7 though.
Okay, is this going to be an official play from you, Spoons?
I have it circled. I'll come back to it by the end. I have quite a few that I'm like kind of on the edge with. I've only moved officially on 1 so far.
No worries at all. We can move on to our next game here, Spoons. And shout out to everyone that's joining us here on a Saturday night. Everyone in the chat, we've got about 50 people out here. Can you guys all hit the like button? If we get 100 likes here before we go off the live, that will help the show a lot. And I will give a $100 giveaway to someone in there. So if we have 100 likes before this goes off the air, I will give a $100 giveaway to one lucky person out there in the chat. So share this with your friends. Share it on YouTube. Share it with everyone on Twitter. Retweet my link on Twitter. Appreciate you guys. Let's get to it. Chicago Cubs taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates here. Let's pull up the pitching matchup here. We've got Jamison Talion on the mound here for the Chicago Cubs. And we've got Braxton Ashcraft on the mound here for the Pittsburgh Pirates, who's been pitching really well this season. Pirates, shout out to the Cubs. I was on the Cubs today. Got it done. It was a smash and grab. Simple as that. Every single batter, the second time around they faced Skeens, it seemed like they had a number on him. And every time they pulled him quick and they got to that bullpen extremely fast. When the Cubs score, they score in bunches, and that's what they did today. Do they do it tomorrow? I'm not taking the Cubs here at this point. I like everything they're doing over there here. 58-45. Everything's going their way. The Pirates still fighting, a couple games over 500. I'm still surprised that they're doing this well this season. This is going to be a game I stay away from, Spoons, but I do want to look at the market before I pass it off to you. We currently have 46% of bets and 95% of cash coming in on Ashcraft and the Pirates. This line opened up at minus 126. Hasn't really moved. Obviously, this line just opened up a couple hours ago. Not a lot of people have been betting these games. We're not going to see a lot of movement early on. If we do, we'll know something is up. As far as this game goes, Spoons, I want nothing to do with it here. If we want to look at the over-under here, we currently have a 9 to a 9.5 at a couple different spots right now. And we have 46% of bets and 54% of cash on the over. Spoons, take it away if you have anything on your Chicago Cubs taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates.
I like this Cubs offense, the way they're swinging the bats right now. Gives you a lot of confidence in what you're seeing. And Ashcraft has looked very shaky his last few outings here, giving up 18 runs over his last 4 starts. 12 runs over his last 2 starts. That's just earned more if you add in the unearned runs. And that's the Brewers and the Yankees. They're decent lineups, but the way the Cubs bats are swinging right now, I think they're probably better than both of those lineups. Tyone, he's coming off an injury. He had a hamstring injury, removed 1 game right before the All-Star break, came back. He looked kind of shaky, 4 earned runs, didn't make it out of the 5th inning. I'd like to see more from him. There's an 8.5 on the board right now. This is a pretty offensive park in PNC. It normally ranks in top 10 in scoring every year. So I kind of like this over. I don't really trust the bullpen that you're going to see in there from the Cubs. And I don't think Tyone's 100% healthy right now. I think he's just pitching because they have so many guys injured. I like this over 8.5. I don't necessarily know who wins this game, but I feel like it should probably be closer to a pick 'em. The Cubs, I don't think should be underdogs.
I don't think so either. I'm going to stay off this game as of right now. Spoons, we'll take a look at the market first thing in the morning. But shout out to everyone out there in the chat. We've got 62 people out there. And shout out to my guy Swig, said, no worries, I got it. Cheers. Appreciate you for helping out, Swig, as always. Our guy Swig, I was just kicking with it. Me and Spoons were kicking with him three and a half months ago in San Antonio, Texas, and he just now left a couple days ago back in his home state. So I'm pumped for him. I'm sure he's happy to be home as well. But he held it down there in San Antonio, that's for sure. So shout out to our guy Swig, as always, doing big things for us. And shout out to everyone in the chat. Hit the like button for us, guys. Let's move on to our next game.
Shout out Ron Crawford in this next game. He's got a
play.
Red Sox for him. I don't know if that's the spreadsheet play of the day or if that's just one he likes, but that's something I sent you to. Kind of interested on that as well.
That does look like a very interesting spot when we get to it here very shortly. That's going to be fun to talk about there. As far as this next game goes here, we've got where are we going next? Toronto Blue Jays taking on the Boston Red Sox here. Kevin Gausman on the mound here, taking on Ranger Suarez here from the Boston Red Sox. The Red Sox, the hottest team in baseball right now, obviously. A lot of people think they were going to be sellers at the deadline. Now they're buyers. They're trying to trade for pieces because they think that they can win right now, which in my opinion is crazy, but they're going to come back to life here eventually. But shout out to my guy Nasty Nate, might be out there at a game in Boston late August. So I'm hoping the Red Sox stay hot, because if they're playing well at that time at Fenway Park late August, that will be a hell of an atmosphere to go to. And Fenway Park is, bucket list for every baseball fan out there. So hopefully we can get out there. With that being said here, interesting spot here. Blue Jays kind of, falling beneath everyone else here in this division, 10 games under 500 right now. This is an interesting spot here, Spoons, a game I haven't moved on quite yet. Let's look at the market here and see if this is going to persuade me to do anything. Right now we have 81% of tickets and 67% of cash coming in on Ranger Suarez and the Boston Red Sox. Right here it's listed at a minus 136. At my book, I'm getting a minus 133 here on the Red Sox. Very interesting. I don't know. I like this spot here. And wait, was this our guy Ron Crawford's play of the day? Yeah, good. Yeah, Red Sox for me. I mean, this might be a Red Sox spot. Whatever. Yeah. I don't know why when he brought that up, I thought we weren't talking that. I said we're going to talk about the game later, and this is the game we're talking about. I like the Red Sox with him here, Spoons. I kind of want to move on here with Ranger Suarez. Kevin Gausman, gas can. This guy is just getting lit up these last couple starts. He's not looking like he's obviously older. I think as the season goes on, his arm's obviously going to get a little bit more tired out there. So I kind of like the Red Sox here, Spoons. Let's see what we have on the total here. We have an 8 at a minus 110 pretty much everywhere. And there's 90% of tickets and 88% of cash on the over. If I had a Toronto Blue Jays team total, I'm going to write that down. If a Blue Jays team total pops up, I want to take a look at that under, because I think Suarez is going to absolutely shove tomorrow. With that being said, it's going to be a pass for me as of right now, Spoons. What do you think?
The team total for Toronto, I have open on a few books. It's sitting at 3.5 between minus 105 and 115 for the under there. So that's likely around what you're going to get. I just moved on the Red Sox. Like, this Blue Jays team right now cannot hit left-handed pitching. I think Suarez is going to go out there, have another decent game. What we've seen from him recently is pretty decent. The Angels just touched him up, got him out of there in the second inning, but I think he can bounce back. This Jays team is not a lineup I'm worried about. These teams are headed in opposite directions. You look at the Red Sox, they're 8-2 over their last 10, and the Blue Jays are 3-7. This Red Sox team is in second place in the wild card, so they have a spot locked up right now for the playoffs. This seems like a game they really need to win. Just double check bullpen situation. You have Chapman, everybody available. They got everybody the night off. So I think the Red Sox are in a decent spot tomorrow. I think minus 130 is a little too cheap. I think that closes like minus 145 everywhere.
Yeah, I'm getting a minus 133 best number available, and another book is even giving me a minus 138. So I don't know if you're going to be able to find minus 130s after the show for much longer, Spoon. So if you're going to move on this, I would move on it sooner than later. That looks like a good line there with the Red Sox. I have question marks next to the Red Sox minus 133 and also the Blue Jays team total under 3.5 minus 105, but nothing I'm going to move on quite yet. We'll see tomorrow in the morning. So we can move on here to our
real quick. Suarez is officially on the IL and he's coming off. It's a groin injury that was the reason he left that LA game.
Okay. So we'll see. That's going to be tough. I'm going to have to take a second look at this game tomorrow, Spoons. I'm not going to move on this as of right now. Shout out to our guy Derek in there, said Red Sox 1-6 at home, last 7 on Sundays. I think they will be okay. Damn, I don't like that either, but we'll see. Kevin Gausman needs to put on a show to get the best trade Baez. He will be traded by Toronto. Okay. Enough for me to stay off this game right now, Spoons. Let's move on to our next game here. We have the Atlanta Braves taking on the Baltimore Orioles, a game I will be involved in, a game I've been involved in all series long. Was fortunate enough to get it done today. Wasn't fortunate to get it done the day before, but I think tomorrow is when they take the 2 out of 3 here, Spoons. You've got the wonderful wizard of Boz, the wonderful pitcher of Boz here going on the mound here for the Baltimore Orioles, a team that's surging right now, I believe, the second half, Spoons. I like the bats in this order. It just depends if they can all put it together at the right time. I know this division is the most loaded in the AL right now, but I do believe that they might be able to squeak in there in the wild card spot. We'll see. There's still a lot of baseball left to be played. Have some question marks about their pitching as well. But with that being said here, let's get to it. I want to see if we have a ticket count on this, and we do. Shane Boz on the mound, 4.9 this season with a 4.05 ERA, taking on Ronaldo Lopez, 4-3 with a 3.95 ERA. It wasn't too long ago, Jorge Soler charged the mound on this guy, and he nearly threw a baseball at Jorge Soler. It's pretty crazy. Ronaldo Lopez, this guy's a gas can too, but he's really been pitching well this season, looking at his numbers right now. I believe he's spent some time in the IL. Haven't seen a lot of him this season. So with that being said here, I think the Orioles can hit him up here. I'm going to be on the Orioles here, Spoons. Best number available I can get right now is a money line at a minus 110. Another book is giving me a minus 113. So I like the minus 110. I'm sure you can probably find a better number available at other books right now. This is a spot where I kind of want to attack Ronaldo Lopez, and I think that this order is going to be able to hit him. I don't like to see 71 and 78 on the Orioles, and the line's not really moving. But again, these lines just dropped. We're not going to see a lot of line movement for the next couple of hours, but I'm going to move on the Orioles here, Spoons. I haven't done it quite yet. I have moved on the Rays and Guardians, but I'm going to hear your opinion before I do actually pull the trigger on it. But Orioles money line minus 110 is in the queue. Break this one down, my man.
Yeah, Lopez has looked pretty shaky his last couple outings. He's given up 9 earned in those 2 games. I think this Baltimore team is coming around. You've talked about it. They're 7-3 over their last 10, starting to get hot coming out of the break. You look at Shane Baz. What worries me is he's worse splits versus lefties, and this is a really heavy Braves lefty lineup. Probably going to see 6 lefties in there tomorrow. Still no Acuna, but that's likely looming here in the next series or 2. So this Atlanta team is going to get better until Acuna comes back. I'm not sure I really want to play them very much. I don't think this is a bad spot for Baltimore, but I don't really think Baltimore has playoff aspirations at this point either. So not a ton of reasons to want to back them, but I feel like there's a little bit of value here. You have the better starting pitching and the lineup that's probably better at this point. Atlanta still has the better pen, but doesn't really matter if you're not up in the game. I would pick Baltimore, but it's not anything I've moved on yet.
Okay. I'm going to make that official after I talk about this next game that we have to break down, and that is the Arizona Diamondbacks taking on the Washington Nationals here. 2 teams that are right there as well, around 500, playing some pretty good baseball this year. Diamondbacks, this is who they are, a 500 baseball team. Washington Nationals, it's kind of crazy. I had ESPN on the TV or something, and I forgot what I was doing, and it said like top shortstop trade candidates, and CJ Abrams was on there. I'm just thinking, how do you trade this guy? Like, this guy is if not a top three, not top five, top three shortstop in all Major League Baseball right now. Could be the best in the next couple of years. I think he has that kind of potential. And I know you could probably get a haul for him, but at the same time, Nationals should be trying to go for it here. I mean, they won a World Series not too long ago with a team that nobody thought they were going to get it done. And looking at that team now, they had a pretty damn good team, and they have a pretty damn good lineup right now as well with those three guys in Garcia, Abrams, and Wood. A lot of key role players as well. We'll see about the bullpen when it matters most, but let's go over the ticket count in this game here. Spoons, do I have one here? I do. But first, let's go over the pitching matchup here. Got RotoWire pulled up right here. We've got Cole Drake on the mound, the lefty for the Diamondbacks against Miles. This guy has been everywhere, Michaelis. 3-7 this season with a 5.60 ERA. Can't believe he's still in this rotation. They usually have an opener for him, I feel like, when he goes out there. So I don't know if I want to move on the Nationals here. I don't want to back Miles here in this spot, Spoons. Let's go over the market before I give this off to you. Right now we have 66% of tickets and 76% of cash coming in on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Line's moving towards the Nationals. It's moved 7 cents in their direction at some books right now. We have a high total at a 10. These guys are going to get lit up tomorrow, Spoons. Both of these guys. I kind of want to take the over 10 here. I'm off this game as of right now. What do you think about this game?
I agree with you on the over. Miles Michaelis has found a couple decent starts this season, but for the majority of the time, he's just not trustworthy. He's not going deep into ball games and putting his bullpen in a situation where they got to go out there for 5 innings. And that's a scary proposition when you're talking about the Nationals bullpen. But what I'm looking at is a rookie lefty on the mound going up against this Nationals lineup. They're the best offense in baseball. They've almost scored 600 runs. There's only a handful of teams that have scored 500 runs. And they're doing the heavy lifting versus lefties. Drake's only had the one appearance so far in the majors. Got to see a athletics lineup that has really been struggling versus lefties. I think the Nationals turn around, put a big number on them. I took the over 4.5 minus 115.
Wow. Okay. I like that spot, Spoons. Damn. Okay. That's something to think about for sure in this game. Let's move on to our next game here, Spoons. We've got the Kansas City Royals taking on the Detroit Tigers here. Let's pull this up here on RotoWire. We've got Avila on the mound here for the Kansas City Royals. This team sucks. This team is, I mean, look at this lineup here, Spoons, that they're throwing out there tomorrow. It's crazy. Detroit Tigers, on the other hand, Framber Valdez, the guy they spent a lot of money for in this offseason, hasn't lived up to it. He's had some decent starts. It really seems like if he gets out of those first 1 to 2 innings, he usually pitches pretty well. It's really the first couple innings he really gets lit up, and then he's kind of lights out from there. With that being said, the Tigers are kind of surging here. The AL Central is wide open for anyone in that division. Game I want nothing to do with here, Spoons, but let's go over the market. We have 71% of tickets and 66% of cash coming in on the Detroit Tigers and Framber Valdez. Probably as expected, but a minus 190 favorite here. It's probably for a reason, Spoons. They're probably going to be a smash and grab here. This isn't in my vocabulary to take them at a nearly minus 200 price. I'm not going to do that. I don't trust Framber at that price here. So gun to head, I'd probably be on the other side, but I think this line is telling at the same time. Nearly a minus 200 favorite here, Spoons. What do you think about this game?
Yeah, the Royals lineup, no Bobby Witt in it. Definitely a shell of itself. He's one of the better bats in baseball. Framber Valdez coming off a terrible outing, didn't make it out of the first inning, gave up 8 earned runs, an absolute blow up. But he's done that before this season. Got tattooed by the Twins, gave up 8 earned runs. Saw this same Royals lineup, came out 7 innings pitched, just 1 earned run. Gave up 7 earned to Boston, returned versus the Mets, pitched into the 7th, just 2 earned runs, and 5 earned runs versus the Rangers. Had another game where he pitched into the 7th, just 1 earned run versus the Athletics lineup that was hitting the ball pretty well at that point. So I think Framber is one of those guys that rebounds pretty well. I think this is a lineup that he can really go out there and find himself against. It's just too expensive to play Detroit. I looked at the Royals team total under the Detroit bullpen's in a decent situation. You can get plus money on that under 3.5. I like that. I don't think we're going to see a ton of runs in this ball game. Avila's been a really decent pitcher. I don't think he gets tattooed or anything here.
All right. I'm going to be off this game. Let's move on here to our next game here, Spoons. Let's pull it up. LA Dodgers taking on the New York Mets. What's going on in this game right now here, Spoons? Let's pull it up because I believe this is our only live game. Oh, no, it isn't. Currently not live. We have a final score in New York, a 4-3 final. What can you say about this New York Mets team, Spoons? Nothing good. I come on here, I sometimes say I'm right at times, but I also probably say I'm wrong more than often. And I was clearly wrong on this New York Mets team. I thought they were going to get it together at some point this season. Look at this lineup, and now they're completely healthy. Louis Roberts out there. Juan Soto obviously wasn't out there today. He's out there starring in a new movie, with Emma Stone. I saw that's interesting. That guy's already got a ring on his finger. You know what I mean? He has more money than 99.9% of this people on this earth. He has nothing to play for the rest of his career other than to prove that he might be the best ever. But with that being said, getting on a little
officially now.
Oh wow, he's on the IL officially now. Yeah, I mean he's taking the time off to go to Hollywood, man. You know what I mean? With that being said, Soto, this whole Mets team, maybe next year if they run it back with the same crew, if they're healthy. I don't know. I look at the bats in this lineup and it's hard not to like this team. But they obviously can't win. They don't know how to play together. It seems like there's no such thing as one-on-one baseball like in basketball, but it almost seems like that at times with this team. With that being said, they're not winning their one-on-one matchups with the pitchers. They're not scoring enough runs. It's not even that their pitching's bad. It's just they're not scoring runs with that lineup out there, and they're spent a lot of money on this lineup. Again, getting off topic, I apologize. Let's get to the ticket count in this game. Sheehan on the mound, and there's 83% of tickets and 93% of the cash on the Dodgers. Freddie Peralta on the mound. Wasn't too long, a couple weeks ago, his numbers looked a lot better, and we were saying that, his numbers don't even indicate how good of a pitcher he is, and he's kind of got lit up and smoked at times this season, Spoons. We have a Dodgers sitting at a minus 155 at the book I'm looking at right now. Are they going to sweep them here? Probably. I'm not going to lay it here with the Dodgers on the road, Spoons, for the sweep. What do you think about this game, Dodgers-Mets?
Peralta's been pitching really poorly here now for a couple months. I don't know if he can find a way to turn it around versus this Dodgers team, but this Mets team is going to be selling, and Peralta's one of those arms that, he's had that playoff caliber kind of stuff before, maybe a change of teams. Clearly the chemistry on this Mets organization is just terrible. I could see him kind of showing up. Rod kind of pointed it out earlier. Just because you have a team selling, playing bad doesn't mean that every player's like, baseball's not a team sport. Like, it's all individuals out there. I could see Peralta finding a way to step up. Sheehan's been pretty shaky himself. His last 5 starts, he's given up 6 earned runs twice. And I don't really think the Mets have the ability to put it up there. But at this price, I could only lean Mets. I don't think Sheehan should be this big of a favorite. But I kind of just like the under. I think Peralta finds a way to step up, have a decent game. This Dodgers bullpen has been really good. I think Sheehan finds a way to shut down a Soto-less Mets lineup. You still have some decent names in there, but they just haven't been able to put it together all season.
Let's move on to our next game here. Talk about a couple of gas cans here. You got one here in Walker Buehler, still making a living in Major League Baseball. Shout out to him. He's had a couple decent starts this year for the Padres. Can't blame the dude. I've made some money off him. I've made more money betting him than I have losing with him, at least this season. With that being said, Jansen Jung on the mound here. He's been getting lit up and smoked this season too. I think he's a lot better at pitcher than his numbers show us right here. Obviously, his away ERA is a lot worse than it is at home. This is a spot where this Padres team, Spoons, they've been bugging me these last couple of years. They spent so much money. They've traded away so much valuable assets in their farm system to get pieces to win now. And then they change ownership. And it just seems like we don't really know where this team is going in the future, what direction they're going to take. And then you've got the hottest team in baseball, a week before the All-Star break, Spoons, and now, 11 straight games they have lost. Kind of crazy here. A game I want nothing to do with here, Spoons. Walker Buehler on the mound, and we have, let's see, we have 55% of tickets, but only 10% of cash coming in on the Padres, and the Marlins open up at a minus 130. That line's still sitting there right now. We have 75% of the tickets on the over 8.5. This line has moved to a 9 at some spots, and there's 72% of cash on the over. So line looks like it's moving to the over, obviously because of these two gas cans on the mound. I mean, this total should be at least a 9, Spoons, with these guys on the mound. Unless I'm missing something here with the weather. Let's look and see what I know it's a dome. Yeah, what are we talking about here? This is in Miami. This isn't in San Diego. I mean, why is this not a 9, Spoons? Should we not hammer this over?
I mean, this Padres offense has been ass for a little while. I mean, they've started to turn it around since the break. I've heard some rumbles of just a complete format shift on how they're approaching certain things. There are 9s out there. FanDuel has a 9. I see flat over 8.5 minus 110, so you can still get. I do lean that side of things, but yeah, the Marlins bullpen, they're still missing some of their more important pieces. Everybody's kind of rested here. I think it's kind of weird that Marlins are minus 120 to minus 140 with Jansen Junk on the mound after dropping 12 straight to a Padres team that's still like in playoff contention. It makes me want to try to find a way to back the Marlins, to be honest. I just feel like this is one of those games where the Padres bats doesn't show up again. I don't know. I don't know what to do with this game. I have not had a good pulse with the Padres team. I think I'll probably stay away from it, but my instincts tell me to find a way to get on the Marlins here.
Yeah, I agree with you too. I think it's just going to be a game I'm ultimately going to pass on. Guys, we have almost 100 people in the chat. You know, a lot of our streams this season, there's major events going on, whether it was World Cup, huge UFC cards. I haven't had a lot of people in the chat. This is the most I think we've had all season long. Guys, I said something in the beginning of the show. If we get 100 likes before we go off the air, I will do a $100 giveaway to someone out there in the chat. We have 41 likes right now with 94 people in the chat. We should be able to get there pretty quick. We still have an entire card to cap, guys. So appreciate you guys for being here. Zane Mathis in there, Thomas Maggio, Rod Zawacki, my guy right there. Shout out to Rod. Love everything he's doing over there on his channel.
No try catch knife.
He joined us last year, I think, for a couple of shows. So hopefully we can get on screen with him again one day. With that being said, shout out to Rod Zawacki. Let's move on to our next game here, Spoons. And why are we off there? There we go. And we have the Minnesota Twins taking on Jeffrey Springs and the Las Vegas Athletics. Springs, this guy had a pretty decent start to his season, and it seems like at any point around, he's either going to get released or go to the minors. This guy is not pitching well this year. He's made me money. He made me money at the beginning of the season. I kind of quickly got off that train. You got Travis Adams on the mound here for the Twins, a team that's just 3 games under 500. Buxton's back in this lineup. He got hurt. He's recovered, missed the All-Star game. This team's looking like, do they want to try to make a run at the AL Central this season? Like, do they have a chance? I hear so many people everywhere talking about how they don't have a good manager, how this lineup is shit. They don't have a good rotation, but here they are, 3 games under 500. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me how good a baseball they have played with all these negative things being said about them. I kind of like the Minnesota Twins, honestly, going forward in the AL Central. With that being said here, let's get to the market in this game. And we don't have much of one. We have something on the side, but we don't have anything on the total. Minnesota Twins have opened up at a minus 144. The line's still sitting there right now, according to DraftKings and FanDuel. And we have 60% of tickets and 89% of the cash on the Twins. Line's not moving. It's obviously early on. We have a total here at a 10. I kind of want to take the over here, Spoons. Both these pitchers are probably going to get lit up. This is a high total, I think, for a reason. Obviously, Oakland always has high totals over there. But with that being said, I don't know. I like this spot here, Spoons. I kind of want to take the over here, over 10. What do you think about that?
Um, the Athletics offense really hasn't been showing up here recently or on the road all season. We just look at the last two games here versus the Twins. The Athletics have put up two total runs. The Twins have put up two total runs. I look at Minnesota. They're sitting in the bottom half of the league versus lefties over the last month of the season. I think they can get runs off Springs, but I don't think they're going to put up a huge crooked number on them or anything. And Prelip's been pretty solid. And versus lefties, this Athletics team hasn't been great. I don't know. I kind of go back and forth what I want to do here, but I kind of want to get to the Twins. It's a little bit expensive. I couldn't get to an over the way these guys are swinging the bats, though.
Do you have a line available for the Twins team total?
Yeah. Minnesota's team total is sitting at 5.5. The under is 130 to minus 143, depending where you get it. And the over is plus 110 to plus 100. And that's a 5.5. Big number. So they like your over. The team total for Oakland is sitting 4.5.
I have Twins team total. I mean, like you said, the first two games of the series haven't been so high scoring, and then you see a total like this. I kind of thought that way with the Phillies and Yankees game today, being that it was a 1-0 game the day before. I was on the over today. Obviously didn't go over, but with that being said, I have that written down here, Spoons, but we can move on to our next game here. We've got the Houston Astros taking on the Chicago White Sox here. You got Eric Fetty on the mound here for the Chicago White Sox, and we've got Ronald Blanco here on the mound for the Astros. Astros 3 games under 500, kind of right there. They've got a healthy squad for the most part. White Sox still 6 games over 500. Eric Fetty still making a good living in Major League Baseball, still pitching pretty well. They're healthy right now. They got Murakami in the lineup. They have Vargas in the lineup. We'll see what the White Sox do, Spoons. A lot of question marks with them the second half of the season. If they can just keep on keeping on, it's going to be interesting to see for sure. Let's go over the ticket count before I pass this game over, because as of right now, want nothing to do with this game. I actually might want to back Blanco here in this spot with the Astros, but we have 65% of tickets and 84% of cash coming in on the Astros right now. It is moving towards them. This line has opened up at a minus 120. It's at a minus 110 at a lot of spots. So the bigger money and bigger bets have came in on the Astros, and they have moved it a little bit in their direction early on. I like the Astros here, Spoons. I don't know if I'll actually move on it. I'm going to write it down and put some question marks with it. What do you think about this game?
Just double checking Houston's bullpen usage. So Hader went today. Why? Let's see, 25th. All right, so it looks like everybody should be available. Hader pitched on the 24th. He pitched today, so he's unavailable. Abreu pitched today. Sousa pitched today. So that puts everybody important for Houston actually on back-to-back. And Okert's now on 3 of 4. Abreu's on 3 of 4. So that's a pretty taxed bullpen. The White Sox bullpen is in a much better spot. Both of these teams fighting for playoff position. Houston's just a couple games back of the Rangers in the West there, and I think just like a game and a half back in the wild card. White Sox are leading the Central right now, and they're probably going to have to win the Central if they want a playoff spot. I don't know if whoever comes in second in that division is really going to have a good enough record to squeeze out a wild card berth. This is a tough game. I don't trust any of the starting pitchers. Houston's lineup has gotten healthier here recently. You have Pena back up there, Alvarez, Paredes, Walker, Altuve. Starting to look like a playoff caliber lineup. Murakami back for the White Sox. This Houston bullpen pretty taxed there. I think I like the over in this game. Not a huge total for this park or anything.
What are we getting right now? 9.5?
Yep. So this is one of the more offensive parks. Like we see 9.5s here. So it's not crazy to see this number, but also maybe a little telling. Circa has an over at minus 105. You can get as good as plus 100 on the books I have from me at the over 9.5. Real question is, do I think it closes 10, and I'm not sure. There's a lot of books that are juiced to the under 9.5, and I'd love an over 9, much more than over 9.5. You get that push on the 9, so you automatically are safe on that 4-4 kind of game. I'm going to keep an eye on that one. If we get a 9, I'd even pay 115 juice for it.
If I can get a 9, I'll pay that juice too. So let me know if you can find that anywhere. I might join you. We'll see if it can actually pull it up. Shout out to our guy, Man Bear Pig said, wine time. Hope the newborn is doing well. Much love. Running up the likes, folks. Shout out to our guy, Man Bear Pig. You see his name in the chat, and football is right around the corner. Remember talking to him in the Discord last season during college football. Good dude right over there from, believe it's from BC over there in Canada. So doing big things over there. We've got 130 people in the building right now. This is by far the most people we have had on the show all season long. We've been destroying it in numbers, but it's usually post show. So I'm really curious to see what we can do, after tomorrow night. So thanks for everyone for being here. We're here breaking down this entire card. We still have plenty of games to talk about. I've got 2 games that I've already locked in and I'm ready to rock and roll on. Appreciate you guys for being here. Like I said, let's move on to our next game here, Spoons. We have the Colorado Rockies taking on the Milwaukee Brewers. Mizorowski on the mound, 10-4 with a 1.57 ERA. Just fucking stud. Kyle Freeland on the mound for the Rockies. Shout out to Freeland, making a lot of money for pitching in Colorado, knowing that he's going to get lit up and smoked in almost every single game of the season because he pitches in hitter-friendly conditions most of the time. Even when he doesn't, still gets lit up. Kind of crazy how much this guy makes. But with that being said here, we have a high line for a reason. Brewers are big favorites here in this spot. I want to see what the books are giving. Wow, we have a minus 300. We have a minus 305 right now at my book on Mizorowski. I don't bet those, and I don't bet parlays in baseball. Sometimes in football, I'll bet two favorites, like a minus 250 and like a minus 350. Try to put them together and pay a little bit of juice for a parlay. I don't do that in baseball, but this might be a spot if you can find another spot, maybe like a fighter in UFC in a couple weeks and parlay him up with the Brewers here, or just take the Brewers on the run line out of minus 1.5 because they're probably going to light up Kyle Freeland. But we do have a very low total here, Spoons, at a 7.5. So you know what? The best thing that we probably should do here is a Rockies team total under. Spoons, can you give me the number available for the Rockies team total under?
Rockies team total under. Hold on. I had the wrong game pulled up. You have Colorado sitting at 2.5. The under, the best price you can get is minus 111. I only have 3 books with that open. It's minus 111 to minus 115 on that. Shockingly low number. So Mizorowski only threw 65 pitches his last time out. He's already had 115 innings this season. His professional career high is 140 innings. So they're going to try to ramp back his innings work. I took his outs under last time it opened up at 17.5. It closed like, I think 14.5, 15.5. Stupid amount of CLV on that. Didn't really have to sweat it. He's going to go out there and be efficient. I have no doubt that he can pitch well versus this Rockies lineup. I just don't think he's going to be in there that long. So tops 5 innings of Jacob Mizorowski out there in my mind. I don't really think the Brewers bullpen is worth minus 300. Yes, Mizorowski's probably a top 3 arm in baseball right now, but what if he's only out there 4 innings? You're paying minus 300 for 4 innings of him, and then what? I get it's Freeland on the other side. He's been ass, but this seems way too expensive. I don't agree with it. I was just trying to check to see if I could find any outs or strikeout things for Mizorowski. I don't think anything's open yet. I see Kyle Freeland outs and strikeouts, but I can't find anything for Mizorowski. I think after last time getting just pummeled on that under, they're probably going to hold it a little tighter.
All right, well, we can move on to our next game here, Spoons. We have the Cincinnati Reds taking on the St. Louis Cardinals. Andrew Abbott on the mound here. 5-6 record with a 3.89 ERA. This guy's made me a ton of cash at times this season. It seems like the only time I ever back him is when he pitches well. Kyle Leahy on the other side for the Cardinals. Cardinals kind of slipping away as we know it, just not playing their best baseball. Obviously, shout out to them. Who knew 90 games in the season they were going to be where they are? And here we are, 103 games in now. They're around 500. They're probably going to start slipping away. This team's probably not going to end up making the playoffs. But shout out to Jordan Walker. Shout out to Weatherholt. They've got a lot of good young bats in this lineup, promising bats for the future. So I like everything the Cardinals are doing. With that being said here, let's go over the market and the ticket breakdown here. And we have one, 78% of tickets and 74% of cash coming on Kyle Leahy and the St. Louis Cardinals here. I believe, are the Cardinals going for the sweep here? No, the Reds got it done in game 1, 4-2, lose the game 7-0 here today. Where are we going to go here? We've got 88% of tickets and 92% of the cash on the under 8.5, and there is a 9 available right now at FanDuel. That's the only spot that has a 9 right now. I would stay away from the total. I just don't trust either of these batting orders really at this point right now. I'm going to stay away from this game, Spoons. I know, guys, I know this whole year I usually have a lot of plays. Today, I don't have as many plays. I've only given out 2 plays so far on the show. I don't want to force anything. We only have a couple of months left of baseball, and I really just want to hit my spots, and we'll see if I end up moving on anything tomorrow. I'll obviously put it in the comments and post it on my Twitter, so follow me on Twitter, Wine Time Sports. But Spoons, take it away. Cincinnati Reds, St. Louis Cardinals, game 3 of this series. Who's going to take care of business in the series?
Cardinals offense has been pretty trash here the last couple months of the season. They're worse versus righties than they are lefties, however. They have managed to get some runs off some of the lefty starters they've seen recently. I think maybe they get a couple off Abbott. Kyle Leahy's been pretty dominant compared to what I thought we'd see from him. He's given you a lot of good starts. The Cardinals are going out there winning his games. I think here at home, this is a spot where he could probably pitch pretty well. I'd like the Cardinals here. I think they're favored for a reason. Not really high on either of these teams at this point in the season, but I think you have a little bit of a pitching advantage here in the first 5-6 innings of this game. And maybe the Reds have a better back end when they're in a save situation, but I don't know that they will be tomorrow. This is a kind of backwoods game. I like Cardinals, but I'm not going to bet this.
Yeah, no, I hear that. I'm going to stay off this game in general. I don't want to force anything here in this game. I don't like the Cincinnati Reds. I was on them today, and obviously seeing them score 0 runs in 9 innings. I don't want to go back to the window with them tomorrow. I just don't want to do it. It's plain and simple. Let's go. We have a couple AL West teams coming up here, and that's an AL West divisional rival here in the Seattle Mariners taking on the Texas Rangers here. We've got Jacob deGrom on the mound against Logan Gilbert. Good pitching matchup right here. Fellas, this is a spot right here where I do want to move on. This is the third play that I had 3 question marks next to coming into it. This is probably going to be the third and final play I make today on the show. And it's the under. But let's get into a little bit more here. Let's pull this up here. 83% of tickets on the over and only 17% of cash on the over. That's going to put us at 17% of bets and 93% of cash on the – wait. I apologize. It's 83 and 93 on the over, so that's going to put us at a 27 and 7 on the under, and that's right where I want to be, a 17 and 7. I'm sorry, guys. I'm looking at so many numbers, so many different things on the screen. A 17 and 7 ratio right there. I like that spot. I want to be on the under here with both these pitchers. I don't trust either of these lineups. The Seattle Mariners, this isn't a good baseball team. I get it. They did a lot of things this last offseason trying to improve their batting order. The pitching wasn't the problem, but they can't score runs. Jacob deGrom, he's going to go out there and pitch lights out baseball. But again, I don't trust this Rangers lineup by any means here. I want to be on the under. I was on the under tonight, on the under 7.5. I thought I was going to get to it, and it ended up closing at an 8. That's the difference between a winning and a losing day right there. With that being said, I'm going right back to the window here, Spoons. I'm going to be on the under 7 at a plus 100 here. It's a low total for a reason. What do you think about this spot?
I like that under 7. I see an under 7.5 available to me at -120 juice. It's the only book that has it. I kind of like that. So Wyatt Langford left the game today for the Rangers. I don't expect him in the lineup tomorrow. That's one of their more important bats. Always hits in the top 3 or 4 of that order. And you have 2 just studs on the mound. DeGrom struggled a little bit his last time out, but a guy like DeGrom, you always expect to bounce back. And I mean, Logan Gilbert, I think he can handle this Rangers lineup just fine. He's been going out there pitching deep. Even when he does give up a few runs, he's still pitching pretty well. Nothing crazy with this bullpen usage wise, unless I don't have this loaded right. But I like this under as well. I think I have more interest in that 7.5. I'm going to circle that. That's another one that I might come back to.
Let me see what I'm looking at here. If I can find a 7.5 here, Spoons. Let's just refresh this, because if I can get a 7.5 at a -120, I don't know if I want to pay 20 cents extra juice for that half run. I probably, you know what, I'm not going to. I'm not even going, you know what, I am looking because I refreshed it. So
basically what you're doing is you're paying 20 cents to win on 7 instead of pushing on 7.
Yeah, I'll take the push, honestly, Spoons. And
when you think about it, it's 50% to like almost 60% hit rate that you have to get to push to hit even. I mean, to hit on that under 7, you only have to hit 50% of the time.
Exactly. I'm going to end up moving on that under. Not quite yet. The other 2 plays I have moved on. This is a spot I think I'm going to move on. We have 2 games left to talk about on this card here, Spoons. And I'm not going to lie. I don't really want to talk about this game, Spoons. Anaheim Angels taking on
Angels.
I know, taking on the San Francisco Giants. Angels, you know, obviously are they the worst team in baseball right now? I don't know. Let's look at the records. I'm guessing they are. Nothing's going right their way, and it sucks. You know, it is what it is. But you do have Jose Soriano, kind of one of the bright spots at some point this season. Obviously got lit up and smoked in quite a few starts this year, but he has been a bright spot. This rotation is a bright spot for this team, and they probably should deal him and Reed Detmers and see what they can get in return and see what happens. Maybe even deal Zach Neto, see what you can get out of that guy. I mean, you know, he's a guy that's on pace to hit 35 home runs this year as a shortstop. Maybe some team's going to go out there and hopefully offer a lot for him. We'll see. I don't even know if they're going to do anything, though, Spoons. I for some reason, I feel like they're just going to keep Reed Detmers and keep Soriano and run it back next year and say, you know, let's run it back fresh with a new manager and see what happens. And I'll probably be excited about it. And I'll probably be disappointed, as I have been for the last time we made the playoffs, Spoons, 2012. It was Albert Pujols, Trout. Trout's rookie year was 2012 or 2011. 2012, I want to say. And they made the playoffs, lost in 3, obviously. And that was the last time. Going into that season, Spoons, I was used to seeing the Angels make the playoffs every single season in the early 2000s and mid 2000s. You know, they were always a good. I'm going a little off topic right here, Spoons. Jose Soriano on the mound here for the Angels, 8-6 record with a 3.43 ERA. Wisen Hunt on the mound for the San Francisco Giants, the red hot San Francisco Giants right now. I mean, they're smashing the ball here at home against the Angels the last 2 games. Wisen Hunt on the mound, 2-0 with a 3.38 ERA. Let's go over the market before I pass this game off to our guy Spoons, because I want nothing to do with this. I've been completely wrong this whole series. I thought between the 2 bottom feeders in the league, the Angels might be a little bit better. Right now, we have 76% of bets and 57% of cash on the Giants. Publix hammered the Giants all series long and has made a ton of cash doing it. What's going to stop them from doing it tomorrow? Maybe the Angels do get one tomorrow. Maybe this is the spot where Soriano goes out there and pitches well against the Giants lineup that, in my opinion, is trash. They've got 2 or 3 good guys in that lineup, but again, they're kind of one-on-one hitters. Rafi Devers, I mean, he might be the biggest Angel killer of all time. I mean, if you look at his numbers against the Angels last 2 or 3 years, if you're not backing his over on hits, runs, RBIs, home runs, everything, like he's making you a ton of cash if you're backing him on that end. I'm off this game, Spoons. Wisen Hunt -120. I don't want that. Soriano, I don't know if I want that either. Take it away, my friend.
Yeah, the Angels are the worst road team in baseball, sitting at 17-37, I believe, on the season. Uh, terrible road record. That being said, I think they have the starting pitching advantage. Wizenhunt has gone back and forth between AAA and the major leagues. Not really much more than a cup of coffee in the majors. So we don't really know what to expect from him, but I think this Angels lineup can get a few runs off him. I think Soriano, as bad as this team has been, I mean, he still has all the stuff to be a solid pitcher. We saw him go out there versus the Cardinals last time out, give you a quality start, 7 innings pitched, just 2 earned runs. I think he can do something similar to that versus this Giants team. A lot of ground ball pitchers like Soriano have traditionally done very well in Oracle. So I struggle to see how the Giants get a lot of runs on the board. The back end of this Angels bullpen, honestly, the second half of the season, they've gotten a little healthier, and they're not complete trash. I like the Angels tomorrow. You can get them plus 100 at some spots.
Yeah.
It's never a fun thing to say when you're backing a team that's 20 games under 500 on the road, but the Giants don't have anything to play for either. Maybe they've offense has woken up a little bit, but they're completely out of playoff spot, 10.5 games out of their own division, sitting 44-60 on the year. I think there's a spot the Angels can get a win.
It's also not fun coming on here live on the air, talking to 140 different people saying that your team is the team that's 22 games under 500. And the month of July is still going on. It's kind of crazy. It sucks. But shout out to our guy, the Godfather, right there, my man. Shout out to him in the chat, blessing us with his action as well. Got to kick it with him in San Antonio there, a guy down there. I believe he's from Houston or Dallas. I forgot which one, but he's from one of the two. All love to him and the family down there. Hoping he's cashing his bets. And I'm excited to talk some football with him because I know he's pumped up for college football and NFL, as you are as well, Spoons, as I am. I can't wait to kind of just get into that at this point. Last year, it was like I crushed baseball. I was like kind of like not wanting it to end. And at this point, it's just I'm down. But we're going to get it back, Spoons. It starts with today. Shout out to the 140 people in the building. Only about 25 likes away from that 100 likes, guys, that $100 giveaway. So we've got one game to talk about here. It is the New York Yankees taking on the Philadelphia Phillies. Sunday night baseball here taking place. Let's bring this up here. Will Warren on the mound against Sanchez here for the Philadelphia Phillies. Let's go over their numbers. Sanchez, obviously one of the better pitchers in Major League Baseball, started the NL All-Star game, got lit up, and was the ultimate reason why they lost in that game. He's right now sitting at a 12-4 record with a 2.65 ERA. I don't like this Phillies team, Spoons. I'm not going to lie. Something about them, I just don't like them. I don't like these old guys. I think that when it comes down to when it matters most, they're going to probably be a first-round exit if they do make the playoffs. And then you got the Yankees, who are missing Aaron Judge, and here they are 14 games over 500. Just kind of crazy. Guys like Ben Rice just stepping up big time for this team. Paulie Goldschmidt out there, 38 years old, still swinging it. They've got guys in this lineup. Obviously, Cody Bellinger, the All-Star MVP. I don't know how he made the All-Star game. I was looking at his numbers, and I was like, how the hell did this guy make the All-Star team? That's how desperate they were. With that being said here, Spoons, let's go over I already went over the numbers and the line history here, and no, I didn't. We have 84% of tickets and 94% of cash coming in on Sanchez and the Phillies. This line has moved in their direction a little bit at some books. We have 92% of cash and 92% of bets and 87% of cash on the over, and that is an 8 right now. FanDuel has moved this to a 7.5 as well as Hard Rock. So, you know what? I'm going to write down the under here. I do think that this might be a sneaky under spot for Sunday Night Baseball. Low total with two good pitchers on the mound. Two lineups that could be hit or miss, and the last two games they've been misses, Spoon. So maybe I stay off this. I don't know. I'm gonna write it down though. What do you think about this game?
Christopher Sanchez is on the mound at home, a spot where he's got a 1.03 ERA. He's only given up 9 earned runs in 12 starts. You have a Yankees lineup that is loaded with lefties. They're going to do everything they can to hide all of those because Sanchez is on the mound. He's got a 0.5 whip versus lefties this year. That is one of the best splits you'll see across all of baseball. So I think Sanchez is going to go out there, have a dominant start. Sharpie, our guy, always says they wet down the grass extra for these home starts for Sanchez. On the opposite side, you got Will Warren, a guy that's kind of on the outside looking in for this Yankees rotation. They just bumped him back here. He wasn't originally supposed to be starting this game, but they moved the rotation around. He just made a bullpen appearance not long ago. So that might be what he's kind of moving towards. Kind of one of those spots you sometimes see pitchers step up. You put them in a rock and a hard spot. Will Warren is a starter. He's always been a starter. He doesn't want to go back into that bullpen, but realistically, the Yankees want to make the playoffs, and they need pitchers like him in the bullpen to be able to eat. So they're probably going to be working him towards that. I expect to see him step up a little bit. I do think this price makes sense for the Phillies. I won't be surprised to see this close 185 to 200, but I just like this under. I think the Yankees are really going to struggle to score runs tomorrow. And I don't think Will Warren's been that bad. I think he can kind of limit some of the damage versus this Phillies team. He has given up some power to lefties this season. That is a little bit scary when you're talking about Harper and Schwarber in the middle of this lineup. But it's not been terrible. And I really like this under. I haven't found a way to get there yet, though.
Me and Spoons both aligning in this spot here on the under. I have question marks next to it. It's going to be a spot I revisit before the night is over and when I wake up tomorrow night, Spoons. But we cap this entire card here, Spoons. Let's go over our bets here before we get on out of here. Making great time here, about an hour and 2 minutes right now. So shout out to everyone that's joined us. This has been by far, numbers-wise, the best show so far this year. Hope we can win some bets here for you guys so you guys can join us again next week as well. We want you guys to keep coming back. Hopefully we can get to those 100 likes so I can do that $100 giveaway before the show is over. So with that being said here, my action before we get out of here is going to be Tampa Bay Rays and the Cleveland Guardians under 7 minus 105. The Baltimore Orioles money line minus 110. And then I am going to make this official as well. Mariners, Rangers under 7 plus 100. I'm not going to wait for the 7.5. Just going to take the 7 right now, guys, at the plus 100. I'm thinking maybe it doesn't move in my direction. Maybe it does move in my direction and out the 7.5. So we'll see. I've got some other question marks next to a couple other games I'll go over tomorrow. And if so, I will put them in the comment section, guys. But please hit the like button. Spoons, go over your action if you made anything official and let the people know where they can find you.
Yeah, I got 2 official bets right now. It's the Boston Red Sox money line at minus 130, the over 4.5 runs, team total over for the Washington Nationals. Got quite a few things circled. I'm looking at that Rays money line right around 130 right there. I don't know that I won't play it at that price, but I'm not convinced it won't move a little bit the other way. And if I could get 125, I'd prefer that. The Cubs Pirates over. I think that closes 9s everywhere. Red Sox obviously moved on them. I was looking back and forth on that Phillies Yankees under. Maybe it's just the first 5 under, not include the bullpens, but Yankees bullpen's been pretty solid. Philadelphia has Duran back there ready to close it out. You're probably only going to need 1 inning outside of the Yankees, but I would like to find a way to back Philadelphia. Maybe it's just Sanchez's outs. And then also keep an eye on Mizorowski. His outs totals have opened up 17.5 almost all season. He's hit that in like 85% of his games. He now has a pitch count. He is on an innings limit. This is a team that's going to the playoffs, and they need him pitching in the playoffs. So you got to cut back his pitch usage now. I think there's some ways to kind of make some money off that. So I'm going to be looking at his strikeouts and his outs totals to see what they kind of open with, see if there's any mistakes there, and move on unders if they're available. That's it. You can find me on the Kyle Kerms podcast. Be doing that later tonight. And on X, there's a link to my juice reel there in the bio. It has all my bets linked for all the sports. Shout out Team Spoon, won the WNBA, I think All-Star game or whatever tonight. Got tagged a bunch of times in that.
Snatch and grab.
Had to move it on them. They easily covered the 3.5.
There we go, guys. Hey, I love doing this with these Spoons every single Saturday night right here on Pub Sports Radio. I've been betting it since 87. When you feel it, you feel it. Shout out to our guy Darren in there. That's longer than I've been born, my friend. So I'm glad to have you here. Drop some of that knowledge in the chat so I can learn from you as well, my friend. We're only like 12 likes away from that 100 likes. Maybe we can get there before the end of this outro, guys. But we gave out our plays. We broke down this entire card. We will be back here live every single Saturday. We will be back next week. Thank you guys for being here with us. And remember, guys, it's always better to sleep in the black.
It's easier to sleep in the black. When you're losing your ass and feeling so, you know what to do. Tune in to Pub Sports Radio. Easier to sleep in the black. It's easier to sleep in the black. It's a roller coaster ride, you're gonna catch a bad beat. No problem, keep your head up and just bet the spreadsheet. It's easier to sleep in the black. It's easier to sleep in the black. All thanks to Jeff Slaughter, these shows have our backs. POD's always rolling, especially the stats. Easier to sleep in the black. It's easier to sleep in the black. We got Jimmy, Jose, Debbie and the fam. Dutch wine time, Spooner and OG Wham. So hit the like button, don't say that you can't. If you know what's best, just put your money on tape.